So this is Dr. Kavita Singh, Associate Professor in Department of Civil Engineering in Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. So today we'll be learning about the lecture about importance of the study of the minerals. Like we have already discussed in the previous lectures about the minerals, about mineralogy. So as we know, mineralogy is the study of minerals, about its properties, physical properties, its composition, its appearance, and its occurrence, that all we have studied in the previous lecture. So today we will know what is the main importance, why do we need to study the minerals, because minerals are very important. It plays a very important role in the construction field as well as in our day-to-day life. And here when we are studying the engineering geology, as it is important to the civil engineering, so how it is important to the civil engineering point of view, that we'll be learning today. So let us start this lecture about importance of the study of the minerals. So what do you mean by minerals? Minerals are basically, they are the naturally occurred in the nature, naturally occurrence in the nature, and it has its own composition, it has its unique properties, and it has its luster, different streak colors, and the appearance of the mineral is different. So in the previous lecture, you have just, if you remember, we have discussed about the physical properties of the mineral, how a mineral occurs, and how we try to break it, in what way it will break. Either it will break in the pieces, or it will break in the layers, or it will break as a fracture in the small pieces, or layer wise. So that all depends on the hardness and the softness of the mineral. So as we know, in the previous lectures we have studied about what hardness of a mineral means. The mineral, when on the Mohs scale, when you just measure the hardness, so if it is 10, that means the mineral hardness is more. I mean, the minerals is a very hardest mineral, it is very difficult to break. So that kind of mineral, when it is measured as a 10 in the Mohs scale, that means that mineral is having a more hardness. And same thing if we see in the Mohs scale, if the mineral measurement, if the mineral is given as 1, 2 or 3, that means as a level of 1, 2 and 3, that means that kind of mineral is a very soft kind of mineral. So in the Mohs scale, you have seen that very soft kind of minerals are talc, or we can say muscovite, or you can say biotite, asbestos. These are all very soft kind of minerals. When you talk about hard kind of minerals, so diamond is the hardest mineral which we measure in the Mohs scale. So let us understand the importance of the study of the minerals. Why do we need to study the minerals? So the study of minerals are essential across the various scientific and practical fields, so including geology, engineering, construction and environmental science. So in geology, it's very important as a practical condition. If we see, geology helps us in the study of minerals in geology will help us to know about the type of the mineral, how it is important, in which kind of product it can be used, and as for the construction part is concerned, which kind of mineral can be used in which type of construction, either flooring or ceiling, or in the wall, in the cement, or as a road construction. So this kind of properties, if once we study, we can just identify and we can just categorize the mineral, and as per the importance we can use that kind of minerals. So engineering point of view, as I said, engineering point of view, like in the construction field, most of the time we use minerals for as a ceramics. In ceramics we use it, in a tiles we use it, as a flooring we use it, as a decorative item we use it. So for sculptures we use it. So this is how it is very important in the as an engineering point of view and construction point of view. Even to study about the environmental science, so minerals are very important, essential in nature. So it will also helps us to if you see, the minerals are also important for the growth of the plants. It's also important for the products what we consume. So that all things are related to the minerals. So that's why the study of minerals are very important. In how much quantity to be utilized, in what quantity to be utilized, where to be utilized, that all we will understand by this importance of by the study of the minerals. So geological and earth sciences. Geological and earth science is understanding the earth's composition. So if you want to know about the earth composition, so as we know the earth composition, either it is made up of rocks or minerals or soils. So minerals make up rocks and soils, helping geologists understand the earth structure, history, and the process. So minerals will contribute to the rocks and the soil. So rocks, wherever you see the rocks, either we see sedimentary rock, either we see igneous rocks, either we see metamorphic rock. So these all kind of rocks, if we see, so that means these all kind of rocks has different kinds of minerals present in that. So we will be studying about these kind of minerals, and based on the type of the mineral which is present in that particular rock, whether how much it is useful for the construction, either in the transportation, either in the house construction, or any kind of local constructions wherever it is required. Now let us know, the rocks are solid aggregates of minerals. So what are the rocks and soils basically when you understand about the earth structure? So rocks are the solid aggregates of minerals and can be classified into three main types. So we have three types of rock. This already we have studied in the previous lectures also. We are having three types of rocks, that is igneous rocks, sedimentary rocks, and we have metamorphic rocks. So what are the igneous rock? Basically formed by the cooling of the solidification of the magma and lava. So once the igneous rocks are, basically these are the rocks which are formed by the lava or magma. So these are the two things, lava and magma. So lava is the material, the solid and molten material which comes out from the volcanic vent, and it cools down very rapidly, and it forms a kind of rock. We call it as igneous rocks, right? So we have these two types of rocks here, intrusive and extrusive. So intrusive and extrusive. Intrusive rock is formed by the lava. Intrusive rocks are formed by the magma, so which is already present in the molten form inside the earth's surface. The slow cooling beneath the surface is called as intrusive rocks. So examples for the slow cooling here is granite. So granite is one of the example which is largely used in the construction. This kind of rock, it is largely used in the construction field. So it is having very durability property, and so this kind of rock we call it as the intrusive rock. And this rock contains different kinds of mineral based on the composition of this rock, based on the presence of that area, based on the molten material which is present inside the earth as a magma. So that kind of rock, when it solidifies, it contains minerals in that. So its best example is granite. An extrusive volcanic rock is rapid cooling off on the surface. That is like once the volcanic eruption is taking place. So volcano once it erupts and comes out as a lava. So that lava, when it cools down on the surface, that lava we call it as igneous rocks. That we call it as extrusive igneous rocks. So here we have an example of basalt. So these are the two examples we just given the igneous rocks. And when you talk about the sedimentary rocks, so formed from the deposition, compaction, and cementation of the sediments. These are the rocks which are formed by the sedimentation process, deposition process, or cementation process. Like we have this clastic, chemical, and organic kind of classification here. So sedimentary rock we made of broken fragments or rock sandstones. That kind of rock we call it as a clastic. Chemical formed from the precipitation of minerals like limestone, and that example we call it as a limestone. So chemicals form precipitation of minerals organic kind of minerals are the composed of biological matter like coal. So where the live organisms and the buried organisms are involved, this kind of sedimentary rock we call it as organic sedimentary rock, right? Now, metamorphic rocks. So metamorphic rocks formed from the transformation of the existing rocks. So already rocks which are already present in the nature as a sedimentary rock, or present in the nature as a metamorphic rock, or igneous rocks. So these all three types of rock, when it is present in the surface, present on the earth surface, these rocks will go through the heat and pressure condition, and they form a metamorphic rocks. These metamorphic rocks can be formed by igneous, sedimentary, sedimentary, and metamorphic. So these three types of rock can form as metamorphic again. Okay, metamorphic again. So metamorphic rock will go through the heat and pressure. Okay, heat and pressure. So this heat and pressure, because of this heat and pressure, it will just transform its properties. So formed from the transformation of existing rocks due to the heat and pressure, foliated and non-foliated kind of rock we will find in this metamorphic rock. So shows banding or layering, like a schist or the genesis kind of rocks are we find as a foliated kind of rocks, which has a bands. And when you see the rock, you'll be having like a band kind of structure. You can see in that. So that kind of rock we call it as a foliated rocks. Now non-foliated rocks is no clear layering. It doesn't have any clear layering, and for example like a marble or the quartz, so it has a very clear kind of image, very clear kind of formation, and it doesn't have any kind of folds, any kind of fractures in that. It just uniformly it solidifies. So that kind of structure we call it as non-foliated, and foliated structure doesn't have any uniform kind of solidification, so that's why it has a banding or a layering kind of presence in that. Now let us know about the soils. When you understand about the earth, let us know about the soils. So soil is a natural material formed by the weathering of the rocks and decomposition of the organic matter, and it is classified based on the grain size, based on the gravel, based on the sand, silt or clay. So when you talk about this soil, so grain size, based on the grain size, you have a gravel which is less than 2 mm, and sand you have 0.75 to 2 mm, silt 0.002 to 0.07 mm, and clay is in 0.002 mm. So these are the different types of classification based on the grain size we do. Now if you understand about the texture, so determined by the proportion of the sand, silt or clay, consistencies, plasticity, cohesion of the soil or moisture content affects the soil strength and compaction properties. Identifying the ore deposits, the study of minerals helps in locating valuable resources like gold, copper and iron. So when you study about the different ore deposits, then you will come to know about the different locations or the resources of the gold and resources of the copper or iron. Now plate tectonics and volcanism, minerals provide a clues about the past geological events and processes such as mountain formation and the volcanic activity. Engineering and construction. So importance to study of this mineral, how it is important in the engineering and construction. So as a material selection, so when you go for any construction, you need to select these materials, the rocks or the minerals, and the rocks which are having the minerals in that. So which kind of materials to be selected for the construction field. So that's why it is important in the engineering and the construction. So material selection engineers use minerals like quartz. They use the minerals like quartz for glass. So wherever you see the glass kind of structure, they use quartz. So glasses are made up of quartz, and feldspar for ceramics they use in the construction. So basically this quartz and the feldspar, these are the majorly they are used in the construction field. So rock strength and stability, knowledge of mineral properties helps in the designing stable foundations for buildings, roads and dams. It will help us to give a strength to the, once you know about the material or you know about the rock or minerals, so it will give you the strength or it will be durable for a long time. So soil mechanics, the mineral composition of the soil affects its strength, drainage and suitability of the construction. Now industrial and economic importance. So as per the economic importance here, industrial importance here, metals and alloys. So metals and alloys, minerals like bauxite, hematite and iron are essential for the metal production. So these are the important minerals. These are the economic minerals as per the economic point of view. The bauxite, which will produce aluminium. So aluminium is vastly or widely it is used in the various industries for the making of the vehicles or making of the different vessels or any kind of machines and all. So it's very much important as an economic point of view. So as an industrial point of view, bauxite, which will produce the aluminium, it has a very important role in the industries. And hematite, one of more biggest important mineral here, as it gives the product as iron. So as we know, iron is very important everywhere, wherever we go, the vehicles, the machineries, the building construction. So each and every, most of the items, most of the things which we use in the construction field, so that there we use the iron and aluminum both, and are essential for the metal production too. So these metals are utilized in the construction field. And gems and jewelry. So gems and jewelry are basically, these are the very important things again. So to create different kinds of jewelries, we use these minerals like diamonds, rubies, and emeralds are valuable minerals to use for the jewelries and all. Manufacturing, many industries rely on the minerals. So they rely on the minerals for making the cement, glass, ceramics, electronics, and even for the cosmetics. The fourth thing is environmental and sustainability. So here the importance to study mineral is for the environmental and sustainability also. So natural resource management, understanding the mineral deposits, help in the responsible mining and the conservation, and it also helps us in pollution control. Some minerals help in the to neutralize the pollution. So few minerals we use it, like if there is a pollution in the air, if there is pollution in the water body, so we use some kind of minerals to neutralize the water or neutralize the air, and to remove the pollutant from the water and air. So like limestone in the acid rain treatment, limestone it is used in the acid rain treatment, like whenever the acid rain occurs. So acid rain, as we know, the first rain after a prolonged period, which contains lot of pollutant in the air. So when it mixes with the water, that pollutant becomes as acid and it falls on the ground. So lot of monuments which are made up of marble or the plants will be suffered with this kind of rains. So to treat that kind of rains, we can just use limestone for the treatment and all. Like climate change studies, so if you go through the climate change studies, so minerals, as in the ice cores or the sediments, they provide the records of the past climate conditions. That all we can know with the study of the minerals. Now let us know about the medical and the biological importance. So study of the minerals, it has a medical importance also, biological importance also. So human health, minerals like calcium, iron, and potassium are vital for the human health. So as we know that daily, whatever food we are consuming, it contains most of the types of minerals like iron, potassium, and calcium, different kinds of minerals it contains. So as a human health point of view, the minerals are also important for the bones and the blood for creation of the iron, or the potassium for the nerves and the vital human health. Now in the pharmaceuticals, some minerals like talc, kaolin are used in the medicines and cosmetics. They reduce these kind of as a type of the mineral, as a what you can say is cosmetics products it is used. And the study of minerals is crucial for the scientific advancement, economic development, and the environmental sustainability. So environmental sustainability is also important for the study of these minerals. So these are the few points we have studied today for, like, as a part of importance of the study of minerals. Why do we need to study of mineral? Why do we know? Why we should know why the minerals are how the minerals are occurred, and how they are important in the construction field as well as in our day-to-day life. So this all we have discussed today. So these are the few of the contents which you can, the references which you can just go through to find out more content about it, like Keshvallu and Chenna and Venkat Reddy Engineering Geology. You can just go through this book for getting the more information about the mineralogy and its importance, or fundamental of engineering or principles of engineering. You can just go through this all references to get more information about it. So that's all for today. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.